in person, not my scene where we're actually sitting next to each other.
Intro the pod.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Go.
Welcome to the Not My Scene podcast, the podcast where we explore different scenes, communities, subcultures, and corners of the internet and tell you what we find. I'm Yarden.
I'm Kaya, and today we are exploring the scene of hanging out right next to each other.
My favorite scene.
This is my scene. Yarden is feeling better, so we're even closer together than we were last time we recorded Coachella Part 1, which if you haven't already listened, watched, go consume Coachella Part 1.
Yes, we talked about camping, which was so fun.
In some ways.
And also really hard to relive that experience.
Okay, it's also so funny because we did this. We recorded part 1 last night, and then like the first day of Coachella happened, and I feel like we were like, yeah, like it was so hot. Like if it had been cooler, it would have been fine. Like, yes, we've only gone 1 year, but we really have a sense that it would just always be too hot.
Yeah.
And like we cannot imagine it getting cold. And then it was like freezing cold yesterday.
Yeah, because we're recording during weekend 2 of Coachella.
Yeah.
So this weekend, apparently, it's very chilly.
Yeah.
But I actually don't think that I would want to camp in any circumstances now, seeing what it's like this weekend.
And seeing people who came back to their camps and had their canopies blown away.
Yeah, rough out there. Anyways.
Okay, well, we're not here to talk about camping.
We're not.
We're here to talk about the festival.
Do you want to say anything that's been your scene lately?
Yes.
Okay.
Should I go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. Shout out, free promo for our friends at Las Culturistas. Not sponsored again, although it is funny. We were like 10 feet away from Matt Rogers when we were watching Lady Gaga, which we can return to. Well, we won't return to the fact that we were 10 feet away from him. But I had listened to the Las Culturistas episode with Lady Gaga before going to Coachella, and it got me so hype and made me like into even more of a little monster. And like the only person in the entire world that I knew was going to weekend 1 Lady Gaga, other than like the people that I was going to Coachella with, was Matt Rogers, because he said he was going. And then we immediately saw Matt Rogers and we were there, which was kind of funny. So, you know, celebs, they're just like us. They're in the GA section for Lady Gaga.
I was surprised to see him there.
Yeah, but so my scene is Las Culturistas Lady Gaga episode. It was so good.
So good.
Yeah, just go listen. They don't need our promo, but I loved it. It was a really delightful
great
listen.
interview. I really gained a lot of insight about Gaga.
Yeah, and like the new album, and it's just fun. Just go listen.
Totally.
What's your scene?
I was just gonna say my scene is Coachella for weekend 2. For those who don't know, and I mean, this is too late by the time this is coming out, but you can live stream Coachella from your couch on YouTube, and that's what I've done in years past. Mm-hmm. And that's what we did last night, partially in prep for recording today, but just to relive our experience.
And boy, did it feel good.
Boy, did it feel good to be watching from the comfort of your couch, eating a warm cookie.
Yeah, there was so much of this set that I could not perceive of from my height.
Yeah.
Something we will return to, but people really have their phones out at Coachella sets, and when you're under like 5'8", I feel like it makes a big difference in your viewing experience.
Totally. We'll return to that.
Okay, well, yeah, that's our scene. Coachella and Las Culch, Lady Gaga. No need to go to the festival. You can consume all that media and you'll be good.
So, now time to get into the meat of it.
We're getting right into the meat of it. No messing around this time.
I can't believe we've recorded so much content and we haven't even talked about the festival itself.
Oh my god, we're so insufferable. Goes to Coachella 1.
No, literally, we're milking this for everything it has.
Yeah. Every time we're going to do an episode, I'm like, okay, I have to come up with notes. I have to think about what I'm going to say. Like, I need more. And then we end up recording for literally 3 hours. And I'm like, oh, no one wants to hear 3 hours of train enthusiasts.
Just natural yappers.
Yeah.
And I fear today will be extra bad because we're sitting so close to each other. Also,
And we had caffeine.
And it's our first time recording in the daytime.
Yeah,
and
huge.
I am not someone that gets energy at night.
No,
So
Den has been putting on a really brave face.
yeah. Anyways,
okay, where do we begin?
So I think we should go day by day.
Okay.
And start with Friday. We, again, if you missed our part 1, we ended up selling our Sunday ticket. So we only have 2 days of Coachella Festival to cover. Imagine how long this would be if we had 3.
Yeah, and having only been to the festival for 2 days, we feel immensely qualified to be talking about it and publishing it. So, expert behavior.
Totally. I want to talk about how the desert was designed by Travis Scott.
This was something we were very nervous about the whole time. I feel like there was much speculation, like, when the lineup came out, we were like, what does this mean? Is everything going to be like dusty Cactus Jack? Like aesthetically, is it going to be like scary? Is it going to be Astro World mouth?
Yeah, because on the Coachella poster, like it had the lineup, and then at the bottom it just said the desert designed by Travis Scott.
Very, very ominous.
Which we were like, he's the last person we would want to design.
Like literally, it's a
festival. Yeah, because of obviously what happened tragically at Astro World a few years ago. Like we were like, is he gonna design it so there's a minimal exits and like
yeah. You know that meme that's like, I feel like a lot of the times it'll be like an image of something and it'll be like, if I send this to you, it means like whatever. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like if I tell you an event is designed by Travis Scott, it's a threat.
Right.
It means I don't want to see, like I want you dead.
Or I was like, is there going to be like a giant Travis head?
Is his set going to be like 5 hours long?
Right.
If we go this year, are we like marked as like Astro World supporters?
Marked safe from Travis Scott designing the desert.
We are marked safe from Travis Scott designing the desert.
But it didn't really mean much in terms of the festival design. I think there was like an exhibit, but we didn't go into it.
There was like somewhere where you could buy merch maybe, but I only witnessed it when I was sprinting to the bathroom. I never went inside. It didn't feel designed by him at all, except for maybe the like camping fiasco when people were trying to get their parking and stuff.
Yeah, he designed that. He wanted people to wait 12 hours.
Yeah, as anticipation. He designed my bathroom emergency.
Everything bad that happened.
He designed the heat. He cranked that shit up.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, he might have designed the heat. Like I feel like that's very on brand. He designed.
And then people were like, you went too far, so we can too.
And then he was like, okay, I'm cranking it down. Sandstorm.
Okay, so Friday, we go through security very quickly. We went in pretty early because, again, we were like trying to escape the heat.
Yeah, we were there bright and early.
Like we went in at like 2.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah, but we were coming in already so overheated.
Yeah, super sweaty, super uncomfortable.
My girlfriend saw me. She was at Coachella, but staying in an Airbnb. And when she saw me, she was like so alarmed by how sweaty I was. She kept being like, I've never seen you look like this.
Yeah, and okay, I thought that we had kind of like slayed and were fitted up, even though we had to get ready in like hell. But when our friend Allison saw us, it was like 4 p.m. the first day, and the first thing she said was, God, you guys look really tired for only having been here since 1.
What do you mean only having been here? Like, that's when it opened.
Because she was like, you look so tired for only having been here like 2 hours.
Oh, like that it was still so early in the day.
And I was like, I feel like we've lived, like we both had already taken our dogs out of our boots.
Yeah.
Like we were
down bad.
We were laying in like an oasis type situation. It was not an oasis, it was just like one palm tree.
Right. Yeah, so maybe we should talk about the festival grounds a bit. It's super flat and not much natural shade.
No, not much AC.
No.
You have to be in like, you have two options for AC. If you want to feel cool, but Travis has designed the desert, you have two options. The first option is you can go into like a bone shaking EDM tent that's going to be like, it felt like a like school gym. Like it had wood floors.
Like slippery wood floor.
Really slippery in the knee-high boots. Pitch black almost. Really, really loud music. Like really loud music.
That's the Yuma tent.
That's the Yuma tent. And it was AC. But you do have to wait in a line that snakes around to get in, and that's not in the shade. So you have to get a little extra dose of feeling really horrible if you want to get in there.
Yeah.
That's option one. And then option two is you can engage with a brand activation, and you can kind of spend a few minutes of your coveted, very, very expensive time in the festival sitting in a atmosphere curated
products.
Yes, exactly, which we did. I sat on the floor of the Postmates activation for probably half an hour while you watched Weezer.
That was day 2. Definitely our preferred brand activation was the electrolyte tent, because
that was
you
awesome.
could get electrolytes there. You could get cool and get electrolytes, but it was also very loud in there, and you couldn't sit down.
But they were playing Rihanna, best music of the weekend. That was something I did not know about Coachella before we went. Like, it was like thick. It was teeming with brand activations. Like, basically the whole festival grounds it's like a village made up of brand activations. And then every once in a while there's like a stage or a place to buy food.
I mean, that didn't really surprise me, I guess.
No, but it was like funny to see so many people waiting in line for them. Like,
totally.
I just is so expensive to go in there, and then like I guess if you wait in line, like you could get like a free mini conditioner from the Method brand activation. But I understand waiting in line if you're like, I'm crashing out and I need to be in the shade, but to wait in line to get free stuff, I don't know.
No, it kind of bummed me out, like the TikToks that are like, here are all the brand activations you can't miss.
Yeah, but maybe they got paid.
Yeah. Can't blame someone for getting their bag.
You heard it here first. You can miss every brand activation.
Yeah, but they are also a good way to cool down.
Yeah, and I think people were getting free flights in the Alaska Airlines one, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that one always had a line. Okay, so we got in Friday. We immediately went into the Yuma tent to cool down.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did a lot, probably on retrospect, too much walking around in the heat of the day. Like, we were really exploring.
We were really pushing ourselves.
Yeah, and kind of checking out the lay of the land.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first set that we went to was Raven Lene.
She was really... Okay, so we're going to do something as we go through our sets. We are going to be ranking the sets that we saw in your classic S, A, B, C, D, etc. tier format. If you don't know about this, it's like a format people will use on YouTube where they'll like drag items into... So like S tier is like the best. A tier is like... And then it's just like grades, like A, B, C, D. But we've come up with our own categories, and we'll be sharing a visual of our ranking when the episode goes live.
So S tier for us is Would Brave the Desert, designed by Travis Scott.
Yeah, having done it, having lived
with 100-degree heat.
100-degree heat.
We would do that again to see
the threat of Astroworld looming over you at any time. You're scoping out like, what fence can I climb? Who can I contact? How long can I hold my breath? That's like, we would...
Well, I mean, that's not what it was like.
But it's like the threat.
Okay, yeah, having a little fear.
Having a little fear
and experiencing intense discomfort.
Yeah, we would do that again to see this artist.
Yeah.
That's S tier.
A tier is you would go to see them on tour. You would pay to see them on tour.
Having just had the opportunity to see them as part of the Coachella ticket, we would immediately pay money again to go see them in our local cities.
Yes. B tier is we'd go, but we're not giving.
Yeah, so there's going to be a few examples of this that come up throughout the weekend. Mm-hmm. But basically it's like, we're there.
But are we really there? Because when you're doing a big festival, you can't expend energy for like 8 hours of sets. So you have to choose which sets you're gonna go there and give at, and which sets you're just kind of gonna be at. Maybe sitting down, maybe you close your eyes.
Travis wants us at every set, but not giving anything except for his.
Yes.
Can we also just talk really fast about the fact that Timothée Chalamet went to the desert designed by Travis Scott? That's so funny.
That's so funny, given that it's his girlfriend's baby daddy.
Mm-hmm.
It.
Wait.
Okay, C tier is they weren't giving, so probably wouldn't go again.
We were there, they were not giving.
Yeah.
We were giving. We were ready to give, and they were not giving.
Mm-hmm. And then, is it F tier or D tier? It's the lowest.
F.
Okay, F tier.
Let's go big.
Is we'd be fine to hear it from our sleeping bag, and we don't care that we're missing it.
Mm-hmm. So this is inspired by two things. The first is that Den saw someone on the Coachella Reddit saying that, like, do you want to just go?
Someone on the Coachella Reddit was saying they went for solo Cella one year, which is when you go by yourself.
Which is super hard, like huge stones to do that.
Yeah.
Mad respect.
So maybe that's why they had to get so fucked up to deal with the social anxiety. I don't know. So this person said they got too drunk and fell asleep and missed Bad Bunny and heard it the end from their mattress at camp.
Which, like, I feel like that's, like, you know, the feeling when you're, like, trying to rally to hang out with people and they're in your house and you hear them from the kitchen and then you, like, sleep in and miss something and then you wake up and you hear it and you just feel so, like, fuck. Maybe this is, like, really extrovert behavior, but, like, for me, when I, like, hear something waking up and I know I've missed it, I feel so horrible.
Yeah. It's really big FOMO, especially if you've paid like $600.
And it's Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
And you're completely
which is so
alone.
hard to get like regular tickets too.
Like, if I heard Bad Bunny from my sleeping bag after accidentally getting too drunk
and I'm
hungover and it's nighttime and I'm completely alone, like, call a wellness check on me. That would bum me out so hard.
That's a huge bummer.
But in comparison, when we'll get to this, we left Travis early. And when we were climbing into our sleeping bags and getting all snug as a bug, we heard Fiend. And we did not care at all
that we were missing it. Yeah.
So that's the situation.
So that's F tier.
F tier, you hear it from your sleeping bag, and it does not make you feel mentally unwell at all. If anything, you're like, I'm so glad to be in my sleeping bag.
Yes. Okay, so where would you put Raven
Lene? I would put Raven Lene at. I'm torn between A and B for her, honestly. I thought she was really good. I feel like since I just saw her, I don't know if I would, like, pay money to see her immediately again. Also, I do feel like I was there, but I was kind of not giving. Like, I was sitting on the side.
I would say, like, until, like, 6 p.m. on Friday, I couldn't really dance at any of the sets.
Yeah, we couldn't give.
It was just too hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I also didn't have a great time at Raven Lene. Like, she ended with Loves Me Not. Is that the name of the
Love Me Not.
Love Me Not.
Really
which
good.
Was really fun. I like a lot of her older music, and she didn't play a ton of songs I knew. So I feel like I was kind of overheated and, like, waiting for songs I knew, which wasn't, like, the best headspace. But she looked great.
Her outfit was so good. She sounded amazing. I loved the visuals. It was, like, calming nature, like, forest, sunrise. I feel like she's going to really blow up more from this. Like, she's going to be in the, like, chapel, maybe not that big, but, like, the chapel Sabrina of last year. Like, I'm sure she'll be back. She'll be playing, like, a huge sunset set soon, I think.
That'd be awesome.
But I think, personally, I might be putting her at B.
That's where I think I would do, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've also that was my second time seeing her now. I don't think I would pay to see her on an upcoming tour.
Okay, B, but we like a high B.
Yeah,
high B.
I mean, we're gonna be pretty. I don't know.
What are we gonna be?
We have high standards.
Simon Cowell.
Yeah, we're just very critical of the vocal performance. Being singers ourselves.
Okay, Raven Lene, done.
Okay, and then
we parted ways.
We parted ways, yeah. Which is, okay, you can do that much more easily in the beginning part of the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's less crowded at the festival, you have better service. We chose, we were in, 2 tents that were basically next to each other, and we just chose to meet at a pole in between them, so it was very easy.
But honestly, it wasn't so bad the whole time. I was nervous the whole, leading up to it about if we'd be able to go our separate ways and meet up, and I think it's a pretty easy festival for that. There's a lot of distinct brand-based spots that you can meet at.
Yeah, we had our emergency meeting spot outside of the electrolyte tent.
Meet me at the electrolyte tent. Not
they should sponsor us.
They should. We drink so much electrolyte. I was throwing that shit back like shots.
Yeah.
Okay. So next, Yarden went to St. John.
Yes.
And I went to Marabou State. So tell us about St. John.
Okay. St. John, I kind of know his music by osmosis. My girlfriend is a big fan, so I've heard a lot of the songs. So I was familiar, and I wasn't a huge fan before. I'd never choose to put him on. But I mostly went because she was there and I was already in the tent. And we got super close, which was really fun.
Barricade for St. John.
Yeah, almost barricade. He was definitely the artist there that I saw the closest.
You saw St. John.
I really saw him. He had some fun, like a choir backing him.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty fun set. Again, it was really hot, so I couldn't really give.
And the people you were with were fucked up, really drunk. 2 p.m. Sorry, I'm putting you on blast. We won't name you by name. But yeah, they went super hard, super early, 100-degree heat.
Yeah,
they were doing shots at St. John, 2 p.m.
They were pre-gaming at an AC Airbnb with a pool, so different story.
We were dead sober.
Yeah. But funny to get so lit early in the day.
And then crash out so hard at 5 p.m.
Yeah. Don't know if I'd recommend, but you know what? If that is your most anticipated set, why not?
Yeah.
You gotta
do it.
You gotta make it your Coachella.
So true.
So St. John, I would also put at a B. I went, but I wasn't really giving.
Okay.
And I don't think I would pay to go to his tour.
Okay. I'm going to shock and surprise you right now.
Okay.
So I spent half of Marabou State running around trying to do interviews of people. And maybe we should put some of the interviews in here. I spoke to someone who was fully dressed as Beetlejuice. It was so hot. Everyone was their clothes were giving no clothes at all for medical reasons. Yeah. And this man was in a full Beetlejuice suit. His face was painted and he had a historically accurate wig on. And when I interviewed him, he stayed in Beetlejuice form the whole time. So honestly, I couldn't understand anything he was saying, but I'm a huge Beetlejuice. He was super in character. So we'll insert that here. All right. I love your outfit.
Well, thank you kindly. I appreciate that.
Can you tell me, is this your first Coachella? Have you been here before?
Come on. I've been here many years. Come on. We're
you always dress like this. You always are Beetlejuice.
Time.
Yeah.
When I'm called.
All right. Who are you most excited to see?
The ones who call me. You gotta say it 3 times.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
One more time.
Beetlejuice.
Let's go. Come on.
Lady Gaga or Green Day?
You know she my lady right there. Go. Come on, go. Get over here. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I don't know what he was talking about, but it was pretty awesome.
So that was your Marabou State experience, or did you see any of it?
That was the first half.
Okay.
Did a few more interviews, and okay, so you've heard Beetlejuice, and after I did my interviews, I went back to Marabou State, and honestly, the second half of Marabou State, I'm giving it an A. I would pay to go see them. I was not familiar with them really before the festival. Our friends wanted to go, and I didn't know anything about them. And I feel like it was awesome. It was like one of my favorite things about festivals, like when you go to a set and then you're like, wait, I love this. I didn't even know who these people were. It also was improved by the fact that I feel like everyone was just having such a good time there. Like there was a group of people in front of us and the guy was just like so joyous. He seemed completely sober to me, but he was just like getting down and like had a huge grin on his face the whole time and was raising the roof, and
that's so fun.
The vibes were good. It was like not crowded. You had space to dance, super groovy, and yeah, they rocked. So I think I would see Marabou State again.
I'm not surprised. I wish I'd seen some of it. I saw people on Reddit saying like their tour ticket prices are like $150 and they should have had a way like better set time. But it sounds fun for a daytime set.
Yeah, it was fun for a daytime set. It was very groovy. I recommend. So I'm giving them an A.
I definitely recommend at festivals not just going to artists you already know like their whole discography of. It's fun to discover new things if you're already there. But that kind of happens naturally when you're in a group and everyone has slightly different music tastes.
Yeah. That kind of happens naturally when you're talking to Beetlejuice. He was like you'll hear, and you guys heard in the interview when he was making me say Beetlejuice 3 times. I was like, what is he gonna do? And then he just like grabbed me at the end.
You were so brave. Again.
I was like high on interviewing people.
Yeah, that's fun.
It was fun.
She was texting me and I'm like, sorry, at St. John, I'm like locked into being front row. Okay. We had like some time after St. John and Marabou State. I got a smoothie around then. We got our rice balls.
Oh yeah, shout out onigiri. I think it was a really good, like, I was feeling so nauseous the whole weekend because of the heat and because Travis wanted me to feel that way, and and the rice balls were like so inoffensive to my stomach and a good little way to get a little bit of mayo-y tuna protein, and
that was a really good festival food. There was so much like really hot, intense food, like birria tacos there,
and like Philly cheesesteak subs,
and like boiling crab.
Yeah, there was. I think that literally would have sent me over the edge.
Like, just not the environment I'd want to be eating that. And also, you have gross hands, and it's such a hands-on.
Travis stops the set. What's wrong, babe? You've barely touched your boiling crab.
And
what's
imagine
wrong,
you're like,
baby, you barely touched your boiling crab.
Imagine you're in a packed like crowd seeing a set and someone right next to you is eating like a crab boil.
You drop your phone, someone picks it up to give it back to you, and they have boiling crab fingies, and there's like red oil all over your phone.
Oh, so nasty.
I also like can't even imagine. If I had to guess, I would say that a lobster roll from the boiling crab stand was probably $64.
Oh my gosh!
What do you think?
Probably like 40 to be realistic. 45.
Yeah, that is realistic. Honestly, good price at that point. It's like Survivor auction prices.
Yeah, the inflation in Coachella is like...
It's like, it's giving I've been starving on an island for a month.
I mean, it kind of is like you're trapped in there. It's like airport.
Right.
These are the only options.
Travis has given you no exits.
Travis has given you no exits, but made you nauseous so you don't need to eat too much.
But if you do want to eat, there's boiling crab.
There's also Nobu for $350.
You want Nobu for $350? You want to face away from the screen? With the people who were
eating dirt sushi.
You want to eat sushi in the dirt? The people, okay, so you could do Nobu, but you were facing the sushi chef since it was omakase, so your back was to the screen. Also, they gave it to people on plastic plates, which I feel like is just such a big, like, fuck you.
Yeah, like, you're such a chump for, like, paying this much.
Eat this, you dirty rat. Give me your $300. It's non-refundable, and if you're late at all, you have to take it to go in a bento box, you dirty, stinky little rat.
God, that would be so brutal.
Yeah.
Getting there late. And then, like, having a doggy bag of Nobu at the set.
Ugh, it sounds disgusting.
The hot fish.
Having diarrhea in the porta potties like an hour later. There's no way they're keeping that fish on ice.
No. Okay.
Okay, anyways,
the next set we saw, I think, was Marina. We found the Oasis.
we found a little nice oasis area. It was an area that I feel like people thought was VIP, but it wasn't.
It was the Heineken area.
It was the Heineken area.
It was a brand.
It was another brand activation, but we didn't buy any Heineken.
And it wasn't inside. It was outside, and it had a view of the main stage, but it was much less crowded than other areas.
And there were palm trees.
Yes. So really nice. Little bit of a hill, so you could see everything.
Travis let us get a little bit of a hill and a little bit of palm trees, but only for a little bit of time.
Only for a little bit. So we chilled there for a while. That's when Kaya and I took our boot break.
Felt so good.
Let them dogs out. Let them calves out.
Den was like permanently marked. Her calves were like stained black.
I famously have huge calves, so
famously have strong legs. We had a really nice girl moment too because we were both wearing ROC boots in the same size, even though our feet are like half a size different because they only sell whole sizes, I think, because they're Australian. And so the second day we swapped boots to give our feet a break, and it worked for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Girlhood.
So we chilled there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we went to Marina.
Yeah.
Which Marina was so good.
She was amazing.
She was
cantissimo.
And it was starting to cool down a little bit at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the first set that I a little bit danced at.
Yeah. We like came back into our bodies.
Yeah.
A little bit. But we didn't want Travis to see that we were like doing a little. We kept it low key because we didn't want him to see and crank something else bad.
We were like, we're still on edge.
Yeah, we're like, oh, it's so, not everything is okay right now, but things were feeling pretty okay.
Yeah. But she was serving. She has new music out, so she did new stuff and old stuff.
A lot of butterfly visuals, and I had a butterfly belt and a butterfly tank top.
Yes, it was so fun. And she was giving like Marie Antoinette hair.
Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, she was amazing.
Yeah.
I would give her
an A.
I would give her an A too.
Like, I kind of want to see her on tour.
Yeah, I'm like, might try to buy tickets. So that's
it would be fun to see her in a setting where you weren't really hot and like you had like so much rest before.
Mm-hmm. If Travis lets you.
Travis follows.
Travis, it follows. Travis designs your life.
Oh God.
Yeah, I would like to see her if Travis wasn't designing it.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Okay, and so she was an A. Love. Check out her new music. She was so good.
And then I think we tried to see Kneecap for
a brief moment. I really wanted to see Kneecap. After my recent trip to Ireland, we had listened to so much Kneecap, and I was like, I need to see Kneecap. So we did.
They're like an Irish hip hop group.
Yeah. And that was interesting. That was in the Sonora, which we hadn't been to before. It's like another indoor space, so you had to wait in a line. So we waited in line for a little bit. Beetlejuice was right in front of us in line, which was kind of funny.
Beetlejuice likes Kneecap.
Beetlejuice loves Kneecap. And when we went in, it was like pitch black, completely crowded, and it was the end of their set. But they played Get Your Brits Out, and it was great. They rocked.
Yeah, so we only saw like one song, but it was cool to witness But really funny to hear Get Your Brits Out, and then we immediately went to A.G. Cook, who's British, and like had British visuals on stage.
Yeah, for Britpop.
Yeah, because his album is called Britpop. He's like so leaning into being a Brit.
But before we go to A.G. Cook, we are waiting in line to get into the Sonora tent, and we're probably like, 200, 300 feet away from this man.
Yes, this was an exciting C-list celeb sighting. It was an artist who was performing the next day at Coachella, and we saw him just sort of standing outside of the A.G. Cook set.
Which is very funny because they're like, this man and A.G. Cook both collaborate frequently with another person who was performing at Coachella, Charlie XCX. So it's like assumed that they're kind of in the same social circle.
Yeah.
And it was like, if I had to guess where I would see this person, it would be at that set. But I didn't expect this person to just be like standing in an open field area directly outside the set, seemingly inviting people to come up and talk to them.
So it was the Dare. Is so funny because we would kind of had a list of artists that we were going to try to interview.
Let's just say I sent some ambitious DMs and emails. Let's just say I may have emailed Post Malone's agent.
But the Dare was one of the more realistic ones.
Yeah, we were like, we might be able to get the Dare.
Yeah.
He loves girls.
Literally.
Girls.
If those of you who don't know who the Dare is...
I like the girls who do drugs, girls with cigarettes in the back of the club.
Yeah.
Now you know.
He's part of the so-called indie sleaze revival.
Yeah, he's part of the so-called indie sleaze revival.
So he has kind of like some sleazy, yelly songs like that he performs wearing sunglasses and a suit as his signature look.
And when we saw him, he was wearing the sunglasses and his head was like angled at the same angle that like it always is. So even though he wasn't wearing the suit and even though he wasn't performing, we like that girls who do drugs. It was like that. I was like, that is the Dare. Even though we were like so far away from him. And I took some funny zoomed in photos being like, is that the Dare? And then we went into Kneecap and then we came out of Kneecap and he was still there. And then we walked over and we were like probably 20 feet away. And for a long time, Den and I were just humming and hawing about whether or not to go over. And we were like, he's not going to want to talk to us. Like he's with his influencer friends. He was with like Drew from Emergency Intercom, I think. I don't know, a little young for me, but I think that's who it was. And then we were like, fuck it.
What's there to lose?
YOLO. We were like, this is what we're here for.
Yeah.
This is why we're
here to get the scoop for you all.
Wide eyes. Who can we report back to the listeners about? So we went up to him. And we were like, we're girls.
Yeah. We were a little less sweaty at this point.
Yeah, we had cooled off. Travis had given us a hall pass to look cute for the Dare. And we went up. And
imagine Travis had like cranked the heat as we were talking to the Dare. We just dripping.
Thank you, Travis, for not cranking the heat. I did have when we were talking to the Dare, I was like, I smell bad right now. But he was like really tall, so I don't even think.
Yeah, he was on a different plane from our armpits.
But yeah, he was eager to talk to us, but he did not want to be recorded.
No.
He was like very much welcoming people coming up to say hi and say that they love his music, and he was friendly, but when we asked to interview him, he was like, does it have to be recorded? And we were like, yes, please, but no. And we didn't really push.
He was like, you can ask me questions, but you can't record.
Yeah, so we'll just do our best impression of the Dare, which won't be that hard because contrary to popular belief, he's not British.
No, he's not. He looks so British and acts so British.
But he's from Woodinville, Washington, so you bet your ass he's saying egg. He has the same Pacific Northwest accent as we do, and we could do an amazing impression of him.
He probably, like, his sports teams played our sports teams.
He's definitely been to Vashon. Yeah, we didn't know this sacred knowledge that he was from Woodinville, Washington, and went to Lewis and Clark until after we talked to him. And then we were like, fuck, in retrospect, like...
We should have been talking to him about that.
Yeah.
But...
Well, not about that, but we should have been talking to him, like, peer-to-peer.
Instead of fangirling.
Yeah. We've really, like, reflected on this experience after the fact.
It's just funny. I think it's funny when you meet any artist that has, like, a really curated public persona, but his is, like, so intensely curated. Like, he's always wearing the sunglasses and the suit. If you go to his TikTok, he's always recording videos from, like, a little below, like, just, like, straight face. And, like, his songs are so much about, like, partying and like, girls.
Sex and girls and drugs. It's so indie sleaze.
Yeah. So it's just hard to reconcile that with being like, oh, he's literally just, like, a kid we could have grown up with.
From Woodinville. Soft boy, Pacific West.
He was, like, very, like, soft-spoken and nice to us.
He was nice to us. All right, let's talk about what he told us.
Okay. Do you want... we actually do an impression? Like, do you want me to ask you the questions, or you ask me the questions?
I can ask you the questions. Okay. Kill, fuck, marry. Hey, the dare.
Hey.
Do you want sunglasses? No, whatever. Just imagine Dan has sunglasses. Kill, fuck, marry. Post Malone.
He was really focused.
Yeah. Post Malone, Lady Gaga, Travis Scott. Wait, was that right? No. Post Malone, Lady Gaga, Green Day.
Those were the 3 official headliners. We'll get more into this later.
Yeah.
Kill Post Malone, marry Gaga.
He said because I love her.
I thought he said what he wrote here is fuck Green Day because I love them.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, sorry. Okay, go again.
Kill Post, marry Gaga, fuck Green Day because I love them.
Yeah, and to that I wanted to say, fuck means love to you. Because to me, marry means love.
Yeah. So, like, is he... Because a part of his brand is fucking. Do you think he puts fuck as the highest? Oh my god,
it's like universal love. He's just trying to preach universal love. It's not indie sleaze.
It's not indie. But in the song romantic. Girls, he says, I like the girls that make love, but I love the girls who like
to fuck. But I love the girls who like to fuck because fuck is love. So he's like, I like the girls who make love, but I love the girls who love. Aww. Okay, so that's what he said about those artists.
Okay.
And then we asked him, the dare, how do you want people to feel after your set?
Like they had 75% of the best meal of their life. Like they're not completely satisfied. They want more. Mm-hmm. And then we asked...
So does that mean that you're doing a Do-Lab surprise set?
I can't say.
But you never know at Coachella, I think you said.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember the exact
You never
wording.
know what's going to... It's Coachella, you never know what's going to happen.
But he definitely left it vague.
He definitely kind of implied.
Yeah.
And for listeners, the Do-Lab is like a separate area. It has like a separate lineup from the rest of Coachella. This festival is so confusing. Put on by the people who put on Lightning in a Bottle, which is like an electronic music festival. And it's like a stage with like a lot of artistic elements. Like if you see the footage of like the rainbow fabric blowing, that was the Do-Lab. So it was all electronic music. But we found out this year they don't pay their artists, which is super lame. But they had like surprise sets teased, and so that's why we asked that. And it sounds like maybe that was going to happen, and maybe Charlie was going to. That's my hunch. But something happened, and so instead they had Sarah Landry play 2 back-to-back sets. But anyways, he did not show up at the Do-Lab. Okay, and then we asked him, most anticipated. What's your most anticipated set of the weekend? Underrated artist you're excited to see?
The Prodigy, and then obviously Snow Strippers, Fuckers. So, like, other kind of, like, DJs that are indie sleaze.
Adjacent.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That's
So
what the Dare
that
had
was
to
our
tell
interview
us.
with the Dare, and then A.G. Cook started, so we were like, okay, thank you.
And he was also watching A.G. Cook.
Yeah, like pretty close to us for the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
like behind us.
Can't take my eyes off of you.
No, I literally kept looking back at him.
Yeah. And he was like...
Can't see on the pod, but Kaya's like lifting her head up a little bit.
in the angle of the Dare.
Yeah.
Dare version, like Taylor's version. Honestly, that whole experience, Travis had his paws off the controls. He was not designing the desert when we were talking to the Dare and when we were at A.G. Cook.
Because it was too good?
Yeah. It wasn't hot. I don't remember it being hot for any of that.
Well, it was just such a relief because the sun was finally starting to set.
And because we were finally talking to the Dare.
I wanted to be severed so that, like, I just woke up at 7 p.m. Every day because that's when I got comfortable.
Let your innie take the heat.
Yeah, torture my innie with
Travis
knee-high
is
boots in 100-degree weather.
Travis is like Mrs. Cobell. He gets to design every experience your innie has.
Oh god.
Anyways, all right, so that was
Okay, so A.G. Cook.
A.G. Cook. Let's talk about it.
I really enjoyed that set.
A.G.
He was
Cook,
so hot.
Are we gonna give A.G. Cook an S?
No, not for me.
Me neither, but I would pay to go see him again.
I'm gonna give him an A.
I'm gonna give him an A. He sang a bunch. We saw him at Portola, and I don't think he sang as much.
No, we
He was wailing in that mic. He was singing his little heart out. He was so hot.
Yeah.
Feminine grace.
He's giving lesbian.
Yeah, he looked so good. The singing was so good.
He played really fun, like, a mix of, like, the Charlie songs he's produced. And so if those of you who don't know, A.G. Cook is a producer.
One of the, like, forefathers of PC music.
And hyperpop. So he's produced, like, almost all of Brad, I think, and a lot of other Charlie music. He played a lot of that. He played a lot from his album Britpop, and he did, like, such fun mixes.
And, like, the color scheme was cool. And, yeah, the singing was just so fun. He brought out Danny Brown, which was, like, so random.
Yeah.
And it was kind of sad, because there was a British telephone box, and it was, like, clear someone was going to come out of it, like, I feel like it was like siren, or no, it was a phone ringing sound.
Oh, yeah.
And there was like steam and fog coming out of the closed box. And then everyone was like, Charlie. Yeah. And then Danny Brown came out. But it was still hype. It was fun.
I feel like there's no way, in retrospect, that Charlie would have come out like before her set at Coachella. Like,
yeah.
You have to make your grand entrance. Or at
Unless
least
you're
she
the Dare.
would want to make your grand entrance there.
Yeah, the Dare didn't want to make a grand entrance.
Yeah, but he didn't like perform before his set. He just wanted to be spotted. He wanted secret spotters,
spot our Dare.
Spot our Dare.
Yeah, so she didn't come out, but it was really fun.
Yeah, A.
Also, I had we were on the like far right side of the stage for most of it in the front, and we could see well, but there was space, and I was like freely running back and forth to the water refill station, and there was no line, and it was just awesome, good vibes.
Yeah. I also like when that one thing I like about going to like a DJ is that you don't really feel pressured to see.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I mean, he was.
But we could
live.
see his handsome face and beautiful long hair.
It was fun to see.
Yeah.
But also fun to like face your friends and fans.
Yeah. A tier. We loved A.G. Cook.
Yeah. Okay, and then this is where I feel like we started being kind of chaotic because there were so many sets we were interested in that overlapped. And
so first I led us on a crazy journey to Lisa, right?
Yeah.
I was like, come with me. And we took off.
At this point, it was dark out.
It was dark. We took off at a astonishing pace through the crowd. And there was like thousands. I feel like this is also the point in the festival where it was getting really crowded. Like all of the influencers who had been at Revolve Fest during the day. Revolve Fest is like, I guess, a separate festival that's just like brand. If you can imagine it, even more brand activation.
But it's all Revolve.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, we don't know because we weren't invited this year.
We weren't invited to Revolve Fest. But anyways, and then all those people come into Coachella, and it was like swarming throngs of people, and I'm like, come, and we have like a big group, and we're weaving and we're bobbing, and we get to Lisa. She's at this like huge hangar stage, and she looked awesome. She was like, you may know me as Mook.
Yeah, from White Lotus.
From White Lotus. Shout out Fran. I wanted to see her because I'm a Blackpink fan.
A Blink.
A Blink. And she was great. We only watched her for like one song though.
Yeah, and most of the time was spent like trying to figure out how we could get a better view because it was so crowded. Like so much overflow from the hangar.
I was kind of in my Icarus moment there. I was like really trying to get us like as close to the sun as possible. But I should have just like enjoyed the ride.
But yeah, I do think that we were maybe set maxing a little too hard.
Yeah, but it was kind of fun. I don't regret it because we didn't really set max Saturday.
No, but that's because I feel like we kind of learned.
Yeah.
You can't go to everything. You kind of have to choose a few.
You dropping hints that you didn't want me to take us to Lisa.
Well, we didn't know how it was gonna be.
No.
I'm not mad about it. I just wouldn't do it next time.
Yeah, me neither. Also, it was so crowded.
And everything at this point takes so long. Like getting anywhere, getting to the bathroom, getting water. There's now lines.
This is exactly what Travis wanted.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like waves of NPCs like searching eyes. This is like when we were at Portola and we tried to leave Disclosure, and it was just like hordes of empty-eyed searching millennials like running towards the stage. It was kind of that vibe.
Yeah.
But not as bad.
Travis put Lisa on a smaller stage than she needed.
Yeah, I mean it was a really big stage.
That's true.
But it was just so packed.
And I've heard from a lot of sources that like the K-pop fans just really come out for people.
Yeah.
So like Jenny being there too, like they just drew a really big crowd.
Yeah.
I don't think I feel like I even saw enough of her to give her a rating.
Yeah, I won't rate. And she looked great.
Same with Kneecap, like we didn't see enough.
Yeah, we can't rate.
Yeah, but I
would say honestly, I would give Kneecap an A. Knowing nothing, I would pay to see them if they came to SF. Anyways, that's Lisa.
And then we went to the Marias.
Yeah.
Which they sounded so good.
Ethereal, gorgeous beauty.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we were also like trying to do too much here. And we also had like bathroom needs at this time.
Yeah, so at this point we hear from Den's girlfriend that she had arrived at the main stage for Missy Elliott and she was at Barricade before Missy's set. And we were like, wait, can we get Barricade for like right now? Like, can we get Barricade and then have Barricade for Gaga? Like, that would be insane.
Yeah.
But we didn't understand that, I guess, well, we couldn't, the service wasn't good enough to understand what side of the main stage she was on. And I have learned now, the right side doesn't have the VIP area.
Oh, dang.
So she was on the right side of the main stage and she was true Barricade. And we went to the left side, which we had heard online was less crowded because it's like there's less stages on the left side, so there's less people coming from that direction. But there's like a whole like VIP artist guest something area in front of the GA barricade, between the GA barricade and the stage. So if you're Barricade on the left side, you're like not actually Barricade.
Yeah, so every time we went to the main stage, we were like going up on the left and we were like, wow, you really like, it can't actually get close to the artist even if you were to camp out here all day.
But I guess on the right.
Yeah, so that's something to know.
Something to know, listeners. But yeah, we got the
Are we gonna rate Maria's or it was not?
No, yeah, let's rate. We saw like probably 15 minutes of Maria's, 20 minutes,
sort of, but a lot of it was like
moving
far
around.
away and like bathrooms.
I think we can still rate. I would give them an A.
Me too.
I would pay to see them. I actually just tried to get tickets and I couldn't.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna try to go to this tour. I don't know. I guess maybe I would give them a B.
Okay, Den gives them an B. I give them an A.
I wasn't really giving.
We'll work it out on the remix.
I hope. So,
I would pay to see them again. They were really good. And they were like interacting with the crowd in such a loving, beautiful way. Like people were like crying and they were like hugging them. And
it definitely is one of my regrets that we didn't stay there.
yeah. Travis possessed us and urged us to go to Missy early.
Yeah, part of Coachella, the Coachella fever that Travis induced was that there's always something better you should be like going to.
I need the vaccine for Travis FOMO.
Yeah.
For the Travis FOMO disease.
Yeah.
I can be your doctor, I can cure your disease.
So the reason we wanted to go, since we heard we could get Missy Barricade, was because Lady Gaga was on after Missy. So we were like, wow, if we could be Barricade for Lady Gaga and only have to like wait like a stand for a couple hours before Gaga, like that would be worth it.
Yeah, our paws were unfurling. They were stretching.
Our little monsters were coming out.
And we were feeling very excited.
Yeah. So we went over to Missy.
But we went to the left side.
So we were like, okay, we're like close, but we still can't. Like we're as close as we can be on this side, but we can't see her really.
And like we didn't have that dog in us. Like we didn't want to like bob and weave and get like we didn't want to throw bows.
Yeah.
Try to get to barricade. Like we went pretty deep, but we didn't like. We didn't have the fight in us.
But Missy was fun.
Missy was so fun. That was honestly like a set that surprised me. She was hilarious. Like the whole set was like a comedy routine. She had this like bejeweled bike helmet on that was
she was always wearing some crazy headgear.
And I kept saying she looked so good, but we literally could not see. Like she was covered head to toe.
Yeah,
I have no
like,
idea.
You can't see her body. You can't see her face.
3rd-degree burns all over her body. I would have had no idea. But she was moving in a way that made it seem like she looked good.
Yeah, she definitely had energy for her 50s.
Yeah, she was awesome.
She was fun. What rating wise, I don't think I would pay to see her.
Yeah, I feel like we need like a separate tier for her. Because like we were giving and she was giving, but I wouldn't pay to see her again. But if I was like a huge Missy Elliott fan, like if I loved her music, I feel like she was an A.
Yeah, like everyone was saying the set was amazing. Yeah.
Everyone was saying it.
Everyone was saying
We couldn't stop talking about it. The crowd was a buzz.
Why isn't anyone talking about this?
Okay, so then we decided to wait. We were conflicted because there was Parcels, The Prodigy, and Glorilla.
Yeah.
But we made the executive decision to stay put.
Well, we did do a quick bathroom break, and then we came back. Yes.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I do think that was the right call. I think something about Coachella is there are highly coveted sets between the headliner on the main stage and the performer right before them. There's like an hour between, and there's always a bunch of sets that you could be seeing in that hour, but you can't really go to them if you care about the headliner a lot.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be late, even if you don't care about being in the front, like with bathroom and getting water and just how crowded it is at that time, you can't really see much between those times.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of funny because then when you look at the poster, it's like, well, you don't know.
Yeah.
But there's probably going to be like a headliner that you really want to see, where if you also want to see the main headliner that day, you might not get to see that person.
You mean the sub?
The sub headliner. Yeah. But you never know, because like on Saturday, Charlie XCX was so early.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
So then Lady Gaga.
It was insane.
It was. I'm speechless.
Yeah.
It was cantissimo.
It was cantissimo.
My paws have been up since. I'm gagged. Lady Papa. So the Pope was at her set, and so people said Lady Papa.
The real Pope?
The real Pope.
Wait, actually?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
No, the real Pope was.
I'm so gullible.
It was Mao P with a Pope hat on.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
God damn it. But
It was
yeah,
insane.
she did like a full rock musical.
She built a like opera house in the desert. The costume changes, the like pre-filmed video theatrics.
Yeah. And there was like a storyline. It got a little lost during some of it, but I don't know, it was so engaging. We're really big Mayhem fans in this house. So the set list, our paws are unfurling. I'm foaming at the mouth. I'm a foamer for Gaga. The set list was a lot of Mayhem, probably like 70% Mayhem.
Yeah.
And then the rest were like old hits, which was great for us. But I know
every song was euphoric.
Yeah, every song was euphoric. I know some people weren't happy that it was so much new stuff because they didn't know the new stuff, which I get, but
listen to the new stuff.
Listen to the new stuff.
Let this artist grow. Like, keep up with her.
Yeah.
She was insane. Also, Mayhem is so good and it's so pop forward that frankly I feel like you could watch that set, not know the songs, and be singing along to the songs by like the second chorus.
Because it repeats.
Yeah, like it's good listenable music.
Yeah. And like the visuals and the dance choreography.
Yeah.
It was like so entertaining.
It was amazing. The run from Born This Way into Shallow into Vanish Into You. Oh my god.
So good.
It was like the best 10 minutes of my life. I was losing my mind.
It was a 2-hour set and it went by so fast.
She said dance or die and we freaking danced.
Yeah.
And everyone around us died.
Yeah, that was the thing. The crowd wasn't great. It was like every time she did one of her old hits, like every single phone went up and people were like more into it. And then clearly a lot of people around us didn't really know Mayhem. But yeah, I wish people had
been taught them the words.
Yeah. I wish people had been dancing a little more, but our group was big and we were all dancing, so that was really fun.
Yeah.
I feel like something I wanted to talk about was the bra theory. This is something, this is kind of how I distinguish between when an artist has like a super choreographed set where like every song is completely like scripted, where like they have to hit every single mark.
They have their marks.
They have their marks. Like Era's tour, it was this way. But what we just saw Gaga do was also like this, and it's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It's just a difference.
Yeah.
Versus a set where it's more so the artist is just doing their thing. They're just singing. They're like really in the music, but they're seeming to be like just being themselves.
Yeah.
And how a good metric for this is whether if someone threw a bra on stage, how badly would it mess up what was going on?
And would it be acknowledged?
Yeah. Or how would it be acknowledged?
If someone threw a bra on stage at Lady Gaga during her Mayhem set, she would have been like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
this
or she would have
newfangled modern device for holding a bosom.
Like she would have had to stay in character unless she was during her little speech at the piano or something.
Or like maybe during Alejandro, she would have been like, "Alejandro, thank you for this gift." I don't know what she would have said.
Yeah. So it would have definitely thrown a wrench in things if a bra had been thrown.
Yeah, whereas like, I mean, I guess for the dare, if a bra had been thrown, that's part of the plot. That was scripted. But like
But it wouldn't have messed something up if someone unscripted threw a bra.
No. And like I feel like when someone throws a bra at Billie Eilish, she acknowledges the bra. She laughs. She throws the bra back in.
Yeah.
If someone had thrown a bra at Lady Gaga, she would have said, "What is this?" Cuddling on her cane.
Because there was a whole part where there was a cane. And
Yeah.
And if someone throws a bra at Drake, he says, "We have to locate this woman."
Locate this woman immediately. Or this female. I feel like she said female. He said female.
Not you misgendering Drake.
I feel like it said female. Well, yeah. That's a good litmus test.
Yeah. Also, another funny thing was when she did Shallow.
Okay, so you know the line where she's like, and in the bad times I fear myself. Do you know that line?
Yeah, I know that line.
Okay, so she's playing her song, she's doing it, she's locked in, and then she has like her one moment of ad-lib, so she goes, and in the bad times I fear myself. If you're going through bad times right now, I'm so sorry. And then kept playing.
It was so funny. It was like, do you mean right now? Like, am I having a bad trip?
Or are you chronically depressed? I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do for you, but I'm so sorry.
It's just such a funny thing to say.
I'm having such good times right now, but if you're not, I'm so sorry. If you're going through bad times right now, I have nothing for you.
Got nothing for you.
I'm so sorry. If you're going through bad times right now, that must suck.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you. I'm Lady Gaga.
I'm having the
Put your
best
motherfucking
time.
paws up.
Put your hands up.
Mm-hmm.
She said that a lot.
A lot. And we did.
Yeah, we listened.
Well, we were like, hands. And then we were like, hands are like paws. And then we put our paws up.
I don't think Travis Scott designed the desert then.
Not at all.
No.
Lady Mayhem elbowed him out of the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lady Mayhem said, off with his head.
Yes. And then he said, I have my paws up. I have my paws up.
Yeah.
No, that was designed by Lady Mayhem. And it was insane.
I think that is an S tier.
S tier. I would go back.
Yeah, that would
would get me back.
the experience worth it.
I would go back and I would honestly rent an Airbnb.
Yeah.
I would pay like a lot of money to have that experience again.
So you wouldn't go through this again?
Oh, I would.
If that was the only way.
If that was the only way, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
But
there's
I would
very
try
few
to be
artists that would get me
closer.
there.
I would go on the right.
I would camp all day, barricade.
No, I would never do that.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't think that's like the spirit of festivals or worth it.
Mm.
You don't see any other sets except for the ones at the main stage.
Yeah, you don't want to see Benson Boone.
No. Kaya wanted to see Benson do his flip.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's fine. Like, we don't have to go. It's, I'm sure plenty of other people are going to be doing gymnastics at their set. And then literally everyone did gymnastics.
Like Missy Elliott had someone whose whole job was doing backflips.
Yeah, and I think D4VD, David, I think it's pronounced, tried to do a flip and landed on his face. And Charlie at one point was like laying on the ground and she was like
thrusting her hips
like that.
So
and then our friend turned around and was like, ow, my knee. And then our friend turned around and was like, looks like she's doing gymnastics.
So yeah, we did have many other opportunities to see acrobatics.
And although we didn't see Benson Boone, one thing I did want to comment on was that, and maybe this is, I don't LA Max enough, but literally every single man in that festival looked like Benson Boone. Like,
So
I feel
true.
like I was eyes wide scanning, trying to take in all the celebs to report back for the pod. And I was like, I can't tell if I'm seeing Benson Boone right now. There's so many people that kind of look like Benson Boone right now around me.
Which is funny that like so many people think he's hot because there's a million of him.
Yeah, so a lot of Benson Boone.
We saw Avery Cyrus there. She walked in front of us.
Professional candy floss connoisseur and producer.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Matt Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Survivor contestant
Thomas.
And I said, I love Survivor. And he said,
Nothing.
nothing. Fair. He had just gotten voted off. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. We were keeping a list of celebrities we saw, and Kaya had at the top of the list unchecked the whole festival Taylor Swift. Just so
Still
funny.
unchecked.
We should
Baby
post
shoes
a
never
screenshot
worn.
in our meme dump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish. Oh, and Isabel Wallace. She was right next to me and our friend in line for the showers. And if you go look at her Archella vlogs, you can see me.
Yeah,
I'm right there.
Kaya's in it. It's so funny.
Yeah, Coachella celebrity Isabel Wallace. Anyone else?
I can't remember, but...
Oh, I walked by Gabriette.
Oh, yeah.
Right by her. She looked really good. I would love to tell you, oh no, she looked normal. Like, it's filters. Everyone is beautiful. You are all beautiful, but Gabriette looked really hot in person.
And that's her job.
Travis designed that too, to make everyone else feel like they looked worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, that's Saturday.
That was Friday, sorry.
That was Friday, oh my god.
Time to move on to Saturday.
Okay.
So, Saturday, we tried to take it a little easier, kind of forced to, because our bodies were not feeling great.
Not feeling good.
The heat was really getting to us.
Mm-hmm.
We still got into the festival at like 3 because we wanted to see Weezer, who was a late addition to the lineup and honestly just playing like way too early of a set at a small stage.
Yeah.
They were playing in one of the tents and we got there a little late and there was just like no way we could be in the shade or see them.
Yeah.
Sucked.
So I was crashing out and I was like, I need to go to the Postmates activation, have fun at Weezer.
Yeah. But me and Sam, we like listened to them from the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
how was Weezer?
They were fun. I mean, I wasn't as bad heat-wise personally as day one, so I was able to dance a little bit, and it was not as hot that day. There was a little bit of clouds in the sky.
This is like literally all such a lie. It was so fucking hot. There were no clouds in the sky. It was 100 degrees.
I think Travis had my setting a little different.
Yeah, Travis was mad at me for being
such a hater.
For being such a little monster when he was the one designing the desert. He saw my paws up and he wanted to push them down.
Oh my god, yeah. So honestly, I think it's just because you live in San Francisco and I live in Atlanta.
Maybe so.
I had come from heat.
Yeah.
But Weezer,
I was born in the darkness. You were barely raised in it.
You come from winter.
I shouldn't be doing my Bane impression. Whenever I do my Bane impression, something really bad happens.
Oh, yeah.
Last time I did my Bane impression, we were in a car and it broke down.
Never forget.
Anyways.
So, Weezer, I wouldn't pay to see them. I guess I would give them a B. They were giving. I wasn't necessarily giving.
Okay. Postmates activation, I would give a F. I could be in my sleeping bag and hear the sound.
So then we got more food. Kaya got more rice balls.
Yeah.
I got some tacos.
If it ain't broke, why fix it?
I know I just shaded eating tacos at Coachella, but it wasn't as hot. I insist on this.
And you didn't get birria, right?
No. I just got normal al pastor tacos.
It was super hot. At this point, I had completely powered down. I was in standby mode.
Kaya was when the phone is like, it's overheated and shut down.
I literally was. Yeah. I needed to be put in the shade. I needed to be put in the cooler with the ice.
Yeah.
At this point, I had to completely lie down. I had my boots off. I was fetal position, eyes closed, hair over face, earplugs in, even though there was no set nearby. I just wanted like sensory deprivation. Yeah. I was trying to get as close to a tank as I could.
I was like literally just trying to nap at Coachella.
Yeah, because I was like, I didn't get any sleep last night. If I don't get sleep now, I'm not going to be able to like I need sleep. But I also knew, I was like, could I go to the med tent and take a nap in there? But then I was like, if you could go to the med tent and take a nap in there, everyone would be in there taking a nap. So why even bother? Which in retrospect, I probably could have done that.
If you were like, it's a medical necessity.
It was.
Yeah.
So then it was Japanese breakfast. And we are big fans. Mm-hmm. So we went, but I had to keep napping.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a lullaby.
Kaya was napping during Japanese breakfast.
Yeah. Just taking a little shut-eye.
It was tough because they had her at the outdoor stage when it was still like full sunlight. So no shade really. We found like a little shade later there. But
you're sweet to me, baby. Wanna believe in you.
Wanna believe in something. That while Kaya's asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So would you give Japanese breakfast a B? We're going, but we're not giving.
I mean, that's what I was, but I kind of want to give her an A. Travis really designed that set so that I had to be a B. Like, if it had been Shade.
Yeah.
But
I feel like part of our ratings are, like, our experience there. It's not just...
Okay, I'm giving her a B, even though I'm a huge Japanese breakfast fan. And she talked about how her new album is melancholy, and then she was like, we're doing a melancholic color, and they played On Melancholy Hill by the Gorillaz.
Cover, yeah.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said color.
Uh-oh. Baby needs a nap again. Yeah. And it was amazing. I love that song. And she was like in a shell.
Yeah, and the rest of us, we were there, but we were sitting, so we were also not giving. I think I would give it a B. I don't think I'm gonna pay to see this tour. It's not my favorite of her albums. I do like her music, but I've also like seen her twice. I've seen her 3 times at festivals now. I think it's like always gonna be a set where I'm gonna be sitting in the back. So
okay, B.
Yeah. I like her songs to listen to at home.
We love you, Japanese Brekkie, for at home.
And I love crying at H Mart.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
then,
B.
Yeah. And then Sam and I went to see the end of T-Pain. You stayed. Oh, and T went too.
Mm-hmm.
We all went to see T-Pain.
I stayed resting.
Yeah.
I held down the fort.
You held down the fort at the outdoor stage. T-Pain also rough because, like, literally was staring into direct sunlight. And he had pyrotechnics going on, even though it was, like, light out, which was funny.
That's the Travis touch.
But he was fun. He was having a great time up there. He did some fun covers. He did Tennessee Whiskey and Don't Stop Believing. And then he just did, like, his part in all of the, like, hits that he has features on, which was fun. I don't think I would, like, pay to go to another T-Pain show, but, like, so glad I got the opportunity to see him at a festival.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess a B.
Okay.
Solid B.
While you were gone, I was at the LA Philharmonic.
Yeah, and then we came and saw.
And you saw some of it. LA Phil was amazing. That was it. It got me a little bit out of my funk. I was sitting up. I wasn't standing.
It was also starting to cool down.
It was starting to cool down, and
Travis was easing up on the gas.
Yeah, twisting my gear to the left a little bit, letting up, and it was beautiful. They, like, sounded amazing. It was really good vibes in the crowd. It was fun to see everyone, like, taking in the classical music, and there were a lot of fun guests, like Becky G and Laufey.
However you pronounce it. Luckiest girl in the world.
Yeah. I kept saying she was the luckiest girl in the world during that set. I was crashing out, could barely stay awake, and was obsessed with the fact that she was the luckiest girl in the world. She looked really good, though. And she just is so lucky. Like, she just has this, like, timeless... it's like so beyond the clean girl aesthetic. It's the singing with the LA Philharmonic aesthetic.
It's like you have your life together.
Yeah, like you are timeless. You're Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
And like the fact that she can sing in that old timey way without getting like absolutely chewed up by her friends is like, that's really something special.
I mean, I bet they're like kind of annoyed if she uses that voice when singing Happy Birthday.
Yeah, that's like Maggie Rogers behavior.
Yeah, or like at karaoke. Like that would piss me off.
Yeah, that would piss me off too. But she's super hot and she gets to sing in that voice normally, and the LA Phil wants to sing with her. So
and then
she's a lucky
Morris
girl.
Also came up, and Natasha Bedingfield, but we missed her.
And Paco Amoroso and Catriol, Cass 7 Real. I don't know how you say it. And it was awesome. It was like golden hour, sun was setting. The LA Phil sounded really good. And it was a nice break from more electronic oriented music to hear some strings.
So what would you rank them at?
An A.
Cool.
I would pay to go see if they did like a set and like an outdoor theater.
I would say also a B for me. I wasn't giving. I don't think I'd really ever be giving at it, but it was really nice.
Who would they have to bring out for it to be an A?
Like any artist that I actually listen to.
Love this shade. Not so lucky anymore. Your dad doesn't listen to you.
I guess I saw a lot of B sets on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. You were in B mode.
B mode. Friday was definitely like a better day for us overall, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which we knew even going in, we kept being like, Friday is so stacked with artists.
But we didn't know that I would be napping on Saturday.
No, we didn't know it was going to go to a place of nap at Japanese breakfast.
No. Nap lines on your calves on Friday, nap lines on my face on Saturday.
Yeah, and then we left to go see Charlie. Charlie had such an early set time.
It was light out.
Yeah, but it was honestly awesome because we like you weren't like tired. It wasn't like the end of the night. It was like just starting to feel like really nice outside, and the sun. Like I love a sunset set. I think she definitely deserves the night spot.
She does.
She should have been the late night closer.
She should have been where Travis was.
Yeah. So should we talk a little bit about the like headlining controversy?
Yeah. So on Saturday there was Charlie XCX at 7 p.m.
On the main stage
after Brat Summer.
Yeah.
Then Green Day was like the true proper headlining set, and then Travis Scott.
Oh no, wait, no. 10? Green Day was at
maybe even like 9.
Green Day was at like 9, I think,
to midnight or something.
No, yeah.
9 to 11.
Travis started at like 11:40.
Okay, so like 9 to 11, and then Travis was like 11:40 till 1 a.m. Yeah.
And so Green Day was the official headliner.
But Travis designed the desert, whatever that means.
So we think it sounded like Travis wanted to be the headliner and was kind of pissed that he wasn't. Charlie also famously wore a sash at her after party that said Miss should be headliner.
Oh, and I saw online there was a Paper magazine article from the person who designed the dress, and actually it wasn't a sash. It was printed on the dress.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That makes it like
much more intentional.
It's not like someone just like
put
a
sash on her. Yeah. No, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah. And people were pissed about it. And I'm like, there's not really any reason to be pissed.
Yeah. They were pissed about it.
Which is
sure.
Like, I don't, like, come on. Green Day, like, if you're pissed because you're a Green Day fan, like, they got their flowers. Like, they were the headliner and people loved them.
Yeah.
If you're pissed because she's bratty, like, that's kind of her whole thing.
Yeah. And she did. I think some of these Pop Crave, Poo Crave Twitter accounts inflamed the situation because they kept saying Charlie XCX wears sash that says Miss should have been headliner on the day that Green Day headlined. And then I know the Green Day fans and the Angels were butting heads. I think some people were upset because they felt like some Angels were coming for Green Day. But it's really a shame because I'm pretty sure Billy Joe is a fan of Charlie, and I'm sure vice versa. And Green Day rocked, and there should be no hate there. Everyone should be directing that hate to the appropriate target, which is Travis Scott.
Yeah. I don't think she was at all shading Green Day specifically.
I think she's just a confident woman.
She would have worn it no matter who was the headliner.
Yeah.
And you know what? I believe that she will be a headliner.
Would she have worn it if A.G. Cook was the headliner?
That's just the craziest scenario.
She would have worn it if Taylor was headliner.
Oh, yeah.
But it was crazy for her to be at 7 p.m. Give her a night spot.
No,
she was so short. Like, she didn't get that much time to perform.
And she basically only did Brat and then Party for You and I Don't Care. I Love It. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah. I think it's I Love It, parentheses, I Don't Care. Or maybe it's the reverse of that.
Yeah.
But also to the people who are saying, oh, like, Brat isn't as big as you guys think. Like Green Day sells. Well, first of all, I'm not putting them against each other. I want them both. I want Charlie and the late night set. But for people saying that Brat is not culturally relevant enough outside of this like limited online sphere of like young people engaging in Brat Summer, those are the people who go to Coachella. Right. Yeah. So like,
and it's like Green Day can definitely pull a crowd, but most of the other artists at Coachella are not really curated towards a Green Day crowd. So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there weren't a lot of, like...
Well, I don't know. We just might not have been engaged. Like, there were the Misfits.
That's true.
I think there were maybe other artists who were like that. But
yeah. Charlie was really fun.
She brought out Dream Guest Troye Sivan, and then double Dream Guest Lord.
Lord was crazy.
And then exciting for the girl behind us, Billie Eilish.
Yeah, the girls behind us were screaming, "Oh my god!"
the whole time. It was very Skrillex. Yes, oh my god!
We couldn't even hear. Like, I'm like, no, you guys are missing Billie.
Yeah, wait, stop screaming! Billie's on stage. It was awesome though.
Like so much energy, like so much fun to dance to.
Yeah, she commanded that stage. She looked so hot. I'm worried about her body on tour, but it looked good last night.
The way she I think could handle a bra being thrown. Like, I don't really think she had set choreography.
Yeah, I agree. What would you rate her?
Definitely. It's I think that Lady Gaga's my only S. I would give Charlie an A.
Spoiler alert.
Like,
yeah, I would give her an A too.
If I had the opportunity to see Brat or Sweat Tour, I would go.
What if she was headlining? Like, what if she got the 2-hour set at night?
I don't think so. I don't think that would be enough.
No, not for me either.
Yeah.
Yeah. A.
But really solid A.
Amazing A.
Yeah.
And then we got food, rested our dogs.
Yeah. Also, like, while we're talking about the headliner controversy,
yeah,
we asked a lot of people, kill, fuck, marry. Like, we asked the dare between the 3 official headliners.
We asked a lot of people like the dare. No, and if there's any left that we haven't discussed, we'll insert them.
Yeah. Now. So we asked between Lady Gaga, Green Day,
and Post Malone.
Kill, fuck, marry, Post Malone, Lady Gaga, Green Day.
Oh no. I love Post Malone. I think I'd marry him. He's just so polite, from Texas. He always hits you with a ma'am. Fuck Lady Gaga. She's hot. She's so hot. She slayed.
Oh my god, wasn't she amazing?
She slayed last night. And I hate to kill Green Day because I love them. But kill Green Day because I love Post Malone. That's literally why I came. Lady Gaga and Post Malone.
Yeah.
Is the reason I'm here. The production here is insane. They literally put on the show. You're paying so much for your ticket, but I feel like it's totally worth it for the atmosphere you're going into and how clean they keep it. It's awesome. It's so freaking cool.
Yeah, Lady Gaga's production was insane.
Yeah, no, literally. The Sahara tent, chef's kiss. I've never seen a stage like that anywhere else besides here.
And that's what's fun about Coachella is people do all have really different music tastes and they're all there for someone else. I'm always shocked when anyone doesn't choose Lady Gaga as love or at least fuck.
And if you're in the dare,
it's the same thing. But yeah, a lot of people there for Post Malone, even though that wasn't us personally.
A lot of love for Post Malone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was also something a lot of the people we talked about was the variety at Coachella, which is so true. It's not any one genre. It's such a diverse music festival.
What do you think distinguishes Coachella?
The variety. I mean, Circle Jerks is playing, and then we're gonna go see Disco Lines. So it's, you got punk rock from the 90s, 2000s, and you have, new age EDM or house music. So I like the variety.
Okay, so also Charlie being so early, I think, and that being my most anticipated set of the day, made the night feel really long. Because it was I felt like it should have already been after Gaga, but there was still 2 more headlining, not headlining, but main stage sets to go.
And imagine this. Charlie is done, and Claro takes the stage.
But Claro's at a different stage.
Yeah.
Which, again, this is where I learned that you can't really see that set before the next one.
Let's talk about it.
Because this is another one of my Coachella regrets, is not staying for Claro, but I tried to see her, but it was so crowded at this time. So I'm walking between the main stage and the outdoor stage, and I can see, like, on the screen at Claro that there's a man up there. So I'm like, well, Claro's supposed to be on now, but I see a man, so I'm going to go to the bathroom.
We thought it was Gustavo Dudamel, who was the, like, conductor of the LA Philharmonic Orchestra.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I guess they're going late.
You're like, oh, guess Gustavo's running over. They're not going to cut Gustavo off. The man was not Gustavo.
No, later found out it was Bernie Sanders, so that would have been awesome to see.
Yeah.
But I spent forever going to the bathroom. There were such long lines at this point. And I heard, like, Claro from the distance, but by the time, like, the whole group I was with was done with bathroom, it was time to walk, like, across the whole field to meet you guys for Green Day. So I think if I do it over again, I would have just stayed at Claro until the end and then, like, missed the beginning of Green Day because they had such a long set. But
do you think Bernie Sanders knows who Claro is?
Like, do I think he's listened to her music?
Do you think that they were like, you're going to go on before Claro? And he was like, Claire?
That's so funny. I think that, well, he'd said a whole thing about her before.
He did.
Like, about how she's been outspoken about political issues.
But do you think he knew who she was? Do you think Bernie's heard bags?
No.
He might know who Gustavo Dudamel
I do
is.
want to know, like, who, like, what side coordinated it. Like, did Claro's people reach out to him, or did his people, like, reach out to her?
They were like, all the non-binary libs, all the non-binary leftists are going to be at the Claro set. We'll bring Bernie in.
Exactly.
Inflame those liberal passions.
Yeah.
Get the people going. He went to the Misfits after and took a photo in the Misfits shirt.
Yeah.
So he likes the Misfits.
Well, it makes more sense that he would know them than knowing Claro.
He should have been before the Misfits. That would have been so funny.
He should have been before Post Malone.
That could have really changed things.
I know, like, don't just preach to the choir.
Yeah, Bernie, reach across the aisle. When we were at Lady Gaga, I was like, if Trump watched this set, he would stop, like, actively trying to harm trans people.
If he'd watched Born This Way.
Especially if he'd been on psychedelics.
Yeah.
I think it would have fundamentally changed his brain chemistry. He would have been like, okay,
If
I'll
he
protect
heard,
the dolls.
You're Lebanese, you're Orient. We were talking about how the lyrics are
Den had
outdated.
a funny theory about
well,
that.
I was like, do you think it's Y-O-U-R Orient? Like, your orientation? But then the you're Lebanese makes even less sense.
You're Orient or you are Orient?
Like, saying you are Lebanese, you are Orient.
She's saying,
so crazy.
you're Lebanese, now tell me your sexual orientation.
Like, the way that
she also saluted on your Orient in the live we saw.
Yeah. Weird to specifically say Lebanese and no other, like, ethnicity, like, nationality.
Lesbian, transgender life.
And also weird to use the word Orient if it's not sexual orientation. But, you know, it's Gaga.
We'll give Mother Monster the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it's your orientation.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
Okay, so then
I went to go see Dark Side. They were awesome.
Nice.
I would give them an A. Super cool. I'm a Nicholas Jar fan. Thanks to my dad. He's a big Nicholas Jar fan. And had always wanted to see him live, and the Dark Side was great. They were jamming. The lights were cool. I feel like kind of a rare set. He doesn't perform live that often. Or I don't think it's the Dark Side. I think it's Dark Side.
Yeah.
So don't cancel me. Yeah, they were great.
Yeah. Cool.
Giving Dark Side an A. And then I ran over. I was solo at this point, solo Coachella, and I saw bags, and it was great.
Dude, I don't see how you did so much more than me during that window.
I was, well, Travis gave me a little gas. He stepped on the gas in the good way. But also I was just really far away. So I was just like watching the screen.
Yeah. So Green Day.
Green Day, they were amazing. We were really far back.
Yeah. We were in the Heineken area.
In the Heineken area. And it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of space. This guy was like going so incredibly hard right in front of us. He had like a 10-foot perimeter around him and he was acting like he was in the mosh, which is just such great energy. We had a little hill.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was so fun. They sounded awesome.
They did.
I am attracted to Billie Joe Armstrong. I didn't know this until I saw him live.
Was exploring her sexuality live at Coachella.
And Yarden hit the nail on the head. It's because he has a Peter Pan-like aspect to him.
He's like permanent youth, even though he's an adult
Respect
man.
your youth. What does she say?
Respect your youth. And
be myself, respect your youth.
And rejoice and love yourself today. Because baby, you were born this way. So much
Claire. Billie Joe was respecting his youth. He looked awesome. And it was so sweet how he kept bringing people on stage. Except there was kind of controversy because the second person he brought on stage was like really ready to go, rearing, and he was like too hot to be up there. Like he looked too coiffed.
He looked like Tom Sandoval.
And Billie Joe was like, do you know, you promise you know how to play this on the guitar? And he was like, yes, I know how to play this, foaming at the mouth. And then he got up there and he kind of like had a confidence that was a bit disarming. Like he needed to be a little bit more nervous and excited, and he was too confident.
But the first girl he brought up was Brooke.
And Brooke was awesome.
And she sang, and everyone chanted, Brooke, Brooke.
And she
Brooke.
sang, do you know the enemy?
It was cool.
And the second guy, you know what? The second guy that he brought up was, in a way, wearing a Miss Should Have Been headliner sash.
That's so funny.
That was his energy.
Oh, just energetically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I've actually, like the girl who was trying to be in the Apple Girl dance, when the Apple Girl dance was the Apple Girl that night, I have changed. Originally, I didn't like the other girl, and then I felt bad for the other girl because she was getting so much hate online. Are you following me?
Yes.
Okay, listeners, are you following me? Hopefully. The guy who went on stage, I also feel bad for now.
Yeah, no, everything is too extreme. He doesn't need hate.
It's not his fault he was confident and handsome. It's not his fault he was cursed to look like Tom Sandoval.
Yeah,
he played the guitar well. And you know what? If Billie Joe had said, okay, give me the guitar back, to me, that shit would be playing in my head. I would be thinking about that.
You know what? I bet it was still a great experience.
I hope. If you're listening, we had a lot of fun when you were playing the guitar. You sounded really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, give him a break.
So
that was Travis designed the desert, that experience for him personally. That was like his own personal hell, to get brought on stage, have everything he wanted, and then to be subject to so much hate and be called too confident and handsome to be up there. It's like psychological warfare.
And that was Travis's lesson for you.
What was ours? Napping at Japanese breakfast.
So
talking to the dare and not realizing he was just a loser core boy from the Pacific Northwest.
Many curses for us.
Mm-hmm.
The boots were a curse.
Yeah. And a blessing.
Yes.
You know how cute they were.
Yeah. So what would you give Green Day?
I actually said that, I think, after the set. I would pay to see them if they came back to SF. I'm not a huge Green Day fan, but they were super fun, and they sounded really good live.
Nice.
It was funny. I liked how generous they were with their fireworks. Like, every song was like 2 sets of fireworks, whereas Gaga was just fireworks for Born This Way, and we were foaming.
Yeah.
What would you give them?
Unfortunately, another B for me.
You were nauseous.
I was experiencing some nausea, so I wasn't giving. I really had fun for like the first 20 to 30 minutes, but I just think I'm not enough of a Green Day fan to enjoy such a long set of theirs, even if I hadn't been nauseous.
I liked being able to like have the freedom to go fill up my water and see Gabriette walk by me in the middle of the set without feeling like, oh, I'm missing something.
Right. But if you'd missed like one of the few like
I would have run
that
back.
we really like, then.
And that's a testament that even in my state, I would have run back. True. I would have found the legs.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. A, B for Green Day. Travis?
We were seated for Travis.
I was fetal again.
Yeah.
Not even because I felt so bad. I just was like tired.
We were really tired.
Earplugs in. I had my scarf was like a blanket.
Yeah, Kaya was like full bedtime mode.
Mm-hmm.
And like
I had my mouth tape. I had my bonnet on.
Eye mask.
Earplugs. Morning shed.
You have your frownies on.
Morning shed to walk back to the campground. We probably watched 15 minutes of Travis.
And I'll just say, like, going in, I did want to see Travis. Like, I didn't ever want to be in the crowd because I was scared of crowd crush. Mm-hmm. But I like a lot of Travis Scott songs. Like, they're fun. Like, they go hard. But I was very disappointed. I thought he just sounded actively bad.
Yeah, he had, like, a huge brass band on stage. And I feel like they were not well utilized. Like, they sounded very out of pitch and out of sync. And I thought that it was, like, out of tune. Originally, I thought it was part of the whole shtick because he had this guy, like, crazy conducting on stage. And it was, like, maybe this is, like, crazy and, like, nightmarish. Like, oh, it's
maybe
confidence.
He also has a mayhem plot.
Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't. Then it was, like, the show. And then he barely used them either. They had, like, a 5-minute stretch at the beginning, and then they just stood on stage. I mean, I guess I can't speak to the whole set, but the 20 minutes we saw, like, the brass instruments were not used again. And the way it was lit, you could barely see him.
Yeah, like, you could barely even see him on the screen because it was, like, strobe flashing between him and just black. And he would just be shouting, like...
But, like, Charlie had strobe, and it was still good. But something about the way that it was lit, it was just, like, you could not see.
And we were also, like, a million miles away. But, yeah, we were able to see Green Day from there.
And he wasn't playing Fiend or Goosebumps.
Or Sicko Mode while we were there. It was a lot of, like, new songs, Donna said. Like, she didn't know a lot of them. But apparently it was nice in the crowd and not crowd crushy, and everyone was really nice. And they had lots of space to dance. So at least there was no danger. Mm-hmm. I kept being like, it's a full moon, so he's going to do a satanic ritual. Because people had said
he's going to sacrifice himself.
People said he did that at Astroworld.
And they were right.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, after the fact, people were like, he was doing a satanic ritual.
Mm-hmm. And they were right.
Right.
Okay,
so that was our festival.
And so then we left. We were like, after 15 minutes, we were like, does anyone want to stay?
And we heard Fiend from our campsite. So definitely that was our F. I don't think we put any in C, which is they weren't giving. All right, so that was our festival. Mm-hmm. Would you go again?
Okay, so things that I took away about Coachella specifically, I feel like the influencer of it all bothered me less than I expected. Like, I had heard that the vibes weekend 1 were so influencer celebrity, and then weekend 2 was, like, way better vibes. I can't speak to what weekend 2 is like, obviously, but I didn't feel like it was, like, so bad when we were there influencer-wise. But I did have a moment of walking across the field before Travis, and there was so much trash and litter on the ground, and that really bummed me out. Like, I feel like I don't know, I guess, how the crowds are at other festivals, but I've never been struck by, like, that volume of trash on the ground, and it was really uncool.
Well, it's just such a big festival, so, like, the quantity of everything is just smaller.
Yeah. But, like, the trash plus, like, the brand activations.
There also should have been way more water refill stations.
Mm-hmm. So those things I would say, like, vibe-wise bad. Good, like...
At least they, like... Okay, things that were good about just, like, the festival itself. Like, I mean, they do have things pretty down because it's been going on for so long. Like, logistically, I feel like things mostly were fine. I usually didn't have to wait for the bathroom that long, except for that one time by Claro.
Yeah. Not
Also,
many
like,
bottleneck areas,
I really like
much to Travis's chagrin.
I really liked that instead of like Liquid Death, they like were selling bottled water that were like in aluminum bottles you could reseal so people could reuse them, and apparently they were only $2. We brought in Camelbacks and refit in like our own water bottles, so we didn't buy any water in there.
Okay, Eco Slay.
Yeah, but like they could have price gouged a lot more for that, and I'm glad they didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good thing. The production was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that you could see Lady Gaga do a set like that anywhere else. I don't go to other music festivals expecting to see an opera house built on the stage.
Right.
Yeah, the production value was just crazy.
Generally, like, artists just go really hard for it. Like, they bring guests out. They, like, want to put on a really good show because there's so many eyes on Coachella and it's such a big thing.
The sound quality was good.
I think it's just fun to be there. Like,
yeah.
I know, it's funny because I would say, I mean, you didn't really answer.
I'm still thinking.
Okay. Because when I left, I was kind of like, I think it would be pretty hard to get me to come back. Like, mainly because of, like, the hostile environment and because it was pretty hard for us to, like, get close for any main stage performances. And I do love watching Coachella. I am not fiending to go back.
Fiend.
But I would go back in the right circumstances. I think I wouldn't camp again, but if I had, like, lodging available to me that wasn't ridiculously priced, or, like, if I was paid to go for some reason, or got, like, you know, like, free lodging, I would go. And yeah, with, like, really amazing headliners, I could go with
a lot of variables. But that's honest.
Yeah, but also it's funny because as weekend 2 was approaching, like, I started having FOMO. I was like,
everything about it is designed for FOMO.
Yeah.
Everyone is on their phone. Everyone is broadcasting everything. And there's so many moments of, like, dopamine rushes, like, surprise guest, and, like, people talking about who's going to come out, and, like,
and so much about it is just about being there. Like, I was there.
We saw Lady Gaga's set.
Like, we saw Charlie bring out Lorde.
Yeah. Although I want to talk about something that I was really excited for the guest performances, and I think that's something that let me down. Like, they were really fun, but I definitely had the realization that those guest performances are, like, strictly just for the moment to be captured on the phone.
Totally.
Everyone had their phones up. The artist would, like, signal that it was going to happen. Like, Charlie was like, will you sing this song with me and my friend at the beginning of Girl So Confusing? So, like, we knew Lorde was coming out. Everyone had their phones up. Like, people weren't really dancing because they had their phones up. And then it was so brief. Like, it's like a minute.
Like, you're not, like, seeing Lorde.
Right. It's just, like, the moment of dopamine rush. Like, oh my God, she's there. And then it's done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely designed for virality. Totally.
But I agree. I don't think I would say it's my scene. Like, I'm not going to become a Coachella person who goes every year. But I would go again in the right circumstances. And I did have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Also,
and I do think... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's really nice not going all 3 days.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't such a trek to get out there, I would go for, like, a single day buy wristband off of someone.
For sure. And I will say, like, there's something special about it. I get it now, why people go. Like, great diversity of music, insane production. So you don't have to be an influencer to go to Coachella. Like, I understand why people are going.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up our...
Insane.
Coachella
What
journey.
A marathon.
We do have one Sister I want to read from our train episode.
Okay.
So Ben wrote in, he said, Dear Kaya and Yarden, loved the Train Enthusiast episode so much. Afterwards, I checked out Stove the Hobo channel Yarden talked about, and it's honestly beautiful and so tragic that he died. Feels like how YouTube was meant to be used. This almost makes up for the egg couple betrayal last week on the gram. Not sure if I should feel embarrassed I didn't realize it was April 1st, or mad that my scenesters would bait and switch me like that.
We got your asses. So many people were fooled.
I think I feel both, but let's just say I was ready to get the scoop. That story has been living rent-free in my head for weeks now. Perhaps I need an afternoon of ecstatic dance to clear the head.
Oh,
Your loyal Madrid listener, Ben.
let's go, Ben.
Yes, such a nice email. I'm sorry for all of you that were fooled. But
sorry
also,
that you're a fool.
Yeah, not sorry. It was April Fool's Day.
We love a little prank.
That's like one day where you're allowed to like just lie for fun.
There's one night a year where girls can dress like an absolute slut and nobody says anything about it.
Yeah. But yeah, Stowe the Hobo, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Agree that that's how YouTube was meant to be used.
Mm-hmm. All right, love.
Okay, signing off.
Hope you enjoyed this Coachella phenomenon, COVIDchella. We'll be back soon.
Bye.
Bye.